2, 3.
Win!
The alley-oop!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to 2024 in Marcus Pavilion. My name is Scott Gladstone. So excited to have you along for the ride today as we are back underway with GNAC basketball. We left the break with the Saints on a very good 4-game winning streak. Since then, they picked up 2 more on the road last week, and the St. Martin Saints are riding 6 straight. They have 1 loss, one of the best starts in school history, and right now they are fighting for the top spot in the GNAC. That contest that could decide who takes over that top spot could be decided next Thursday. We'll talk plenty about that in the matchup with MSUB. But first, let's talk about tonight. It's Western Oregon. The Wolves have come up I-5 down in Monmouth, and they make their way in here coming off a win over Simon Fraser University. However, they are currently without their top scorer, one of their best players, Keont Myers, and that's going to be a big decider in this game. How much can Cameron Benzel and the rest of the offense do? They lost a lot of firepower from last year, and the big headline in that is losing Cam Cranston. The Saints, on the other hand, they lost some key players, but the Salem trio that are right down the road, grew up right down the road from Monmouth, Oregon, well, they've been a thorn in the side of the Wolves. Both matchups last year, they helped the Saints get a sweep over this GNAC foe. These are 2 teams that made the GNAC tournament last year. It is a Western Oregon team that really wants a win here in St. Martin's Marcus Pavilion. We're going to send you down courtside now for the national anthems and the starting lineups. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Saints Digital Network.
Matchup featuring the Wolves of Western Oregon University come in with a 4-8 record, 1-3 in GNAC play versus your hometown Saints, who at this moment are 10-1 and 1-1 in GNAC play. Before we meet the players, at this time we ask you rise if you are able, remove your hats and join us as we honor Americans here and abroad with the playing of our national anthem. If it would play. Let's go ahead and meet the Wolves. A 6'2 freshman, 0, Makai McIntyre. A 6'6 junior, number 3, is Chris Cook. A 6'4 junior, number 4, Jason Gallant. A 6'5 junior, number 11, Zach Moore. And a 6'7 senior, number 23, Cameron Benzel. The Wolves are coached by Wes Piper, assisted by Brian Fisher and Kyle Ruiz. The Saints are currently 3-1 on the season in GNAC play. So now, ladies Saints. The 6'2" freshman from Auburn, Washington, zero is Kate Hansen. 6'8" senior from Pullman, Washington, number 3, Nate the Great Stokes. 6'5" senior from Salem, Oregon, number 5 is Kyle Greeley. 5'10" junior from Salem, Oregon, JNS, number 11 is James Nielsen Skinner. And 6'6" junior from Detroit, Michigan, number 55 is J. Sean Moore. Mr. Aaron Landry for his fourth season head coach, assisted by Dr. Tyler Valdez, Wesley Reynolds, and Bill Brandon.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That was your starting lineup brought to you by Forelli's Pizza. We'll go over it one more time for the visiting Western Oregon Wolves. It's Mecky McIntyre, Chris Cook, Jason Gallant, Zach Moore, and Cameron Benzel. On the other side for the Saints, it's the usual starters since about early December. Caden Hansen, Nathaniel Nate Stokes, Kyle Greeley, Jaden Nielsen Skinner, and Jay-Sean Moore. Once again, those starting lineups are brought to you by Forelli's Pizza. Great people make great pizza. Tip-off battle will be between Benzel and Stokes. This is a Western Oregon squad that one of the headlines for them is they struggle at times against size. Benzel is kind of their go-to big. He is also going to be the go-to scorer that they're going to look towards with Keontae Myers out. Myers averages 16.3 points per game. He had a triple-double against Division III Linfield earlier this year. But he has been out. And now jersey switch, I believe, had to happen as Zach Moore, what he might have done there is he might have forgot to put on his jersey in the locker room and then ripped off his warm-up and realized that he didn't have his jersey on, which it's not legal to play without a jersey. You need your number at the very least. Tip-off goes towards the Wolves. It is number 3, Chris Cook, that grabs it and gets it to Gallant. Gallant, a junior out of Simi Valley, California, transfer from a fellow D2 school in Colorado Christian. Benzel goes up trying to set a screen, but it goes back to Gallant now. Gallant guarded by Jaden Nielsen Skinner. This is Benzel. Lots of room given to him by Nathaniel Stokes, who's guarding him. The Saints are out here in a man-to-man to start, then a little poke shot up, and then reaching over the back of Jay-Sean Moore is number 3, Chris Cook. The first foul of the game is called on the junior out of L.A. His first and team's first. Coming out in a full-court press. It looks like a 1-2-2 look. Thrown cross-court to Jay-Sean Moore. Now trying to get it over the timeline. They do just with 2 seconds to spare. Now to the corner. This is Kyle Greeley. 5 on the floor once again for the Saints are Jaden Nielsen Skinner, who I'll call Skinny most of the night. Caden Hansen, Jay-Sean Moore, Kyle Greeley, and Nate Stokes. Kyle Greeley with 31 his last time out. Jay-Sean Moore will fire a 3. That one goes off back iron. Rebound Benzel. Gallant brings it up. Now gets it to Cook. Cook nearly lost his dribble. He's got those bright green shoes. That'll help you identify him. Then losing the dribble is McIntyre. Now back out to McIntyre. Drives on Hansen. Hansen with the block. Maybe got a help there from Nate Stokes as it's out to Skinny. Skinny, a teardrop 3, splashes home. 3-0 Saints with the first bucket of the evening. Minute and a half gone. 18:30 to go in half number 1. Gallant brings it up. Jay-Sean Moore, good defensive effort there to cut off a possible pass to Chris Cook. Now from the elbow, a shot is on the way. Off back iron. You can see the Saints have a different intensity on defense than they had in their last outing, as that one is too long from Caden Hansen. The Saints allowed 105 points. It was a winning effort against Western Washington University, but a rare time in college basketball when you're going to allow over 100 points in regulation and still win. That was because of the high-powered Saints offense that put up 112 a week ago against the Vikings. That ball is poked out by Kyle Greeley. Plenty of other basketball being played around the GNAC as all 10 teams are in action today. Montana State Billings beating Simon Fraser 73-61. That is an undefeated Yellow Jacket squad. Over there in the Big Sky State, another free throw line jumper. This one missed. Rebound Greeley. Quick outlet to Skinny. Skinny crosses the floor, slows it up. Now down to Stokes, guarded by Benzel. Stokes had a 13-point outing against the Western Washington Wolves. That one goes short, goes right to Greeley on the rebound, and he is not going to miss a wide-open shot from the mid-range like that. 17:21 to go. Saints up 5-0. 3 from Skinny, 3 from Greeley. Salem accounting for all 5 points so far against the team from Monmouth. Caden Hansen guarding his fellow number 0, Mecky McIntyre. Now Benzel with it. Double team on the baseline, kicked out for 3. Cook goes long, rebound goes to Stokes. Stokes will bring it up himself. A lot of versatile players. There's a nice little behind the back pass there, and a screen being set out to Hansen. Hansen gets a bump, and it'll be a foul called on Mecky McIntyre. Take a look around the GNAC. We got Alaska Anchorage and Northwest Nazarene about to get underway. Up in the Great White North. Is that what they call Alaska? Or is that Canada? To the hoop. What a crafty move there by Caden Hansen. Seattle Pacific and Western Washington all tied at 46 all. Central Washington is up by 5 right now on Alaska Fairbanks. Those are the 3 other games that are yet to have finals today. We'll take a look at the standings shortly as that ball is poked out of bounds by the Saints. And the first sub of the game will be number 12, Makayo Morphy. Morphy, a freshman out of Santa Barbara, California. As we take a look at the standings with the one final score of the Yellow Jackets defeating Simon Fraser. Those are the two extremes of the GNAC right now, the only undefeated MSUB and the only winless team in Simon Fraser. Jay Sean Moore with only court ahead of him, takes it to the hoop, gets it taken away, and it goes off of his foot. It is out off of the Saints. Timeout called by Wes Pfeiffer, and the Western Oregon Wolves will take a quick break on the Saints Digital Network. It's a touchdown to nothing, 7-0, Saints ahead. Welcome back here. Scott Gladstone with you. 16:10 to go. Saints and the Wolves of Western Oregon. Saints come in with a record of 13-1 overall. They went undefeated in conference play, but a lone loss to NNU in the GNAC opener that they had puts them at 3-1 in the Great Northwest Athletic Conference. So they are one game behind the Montana State Billings Yellow Jackets. This ball goes down low, poked around, ends up going to the Saints as Skinny grabs it. And an over the head pass backwards to Nate Stokes. Greeley with it now. Top scorer on the Saints. Hansen, he also has a knack for scoring. Cross court to Stokes. He's open for three, and he puts it down the hatch, 10-0. Saints up by double figures. Saints are ranked as the number 5 team in the nation. They are playing a Western Oregon squad that has struggled this year, but they cannot be overweening of this opponent as they look forward to the matchup with MSU Billings next Thursday. That's going to be a big one for Pack to Pav here at Marcus Pavilion. Kyle Greeley to the bucket. It's 12-0 Saints. Saints pitching a shutout right now. Western Oregon has scrambled around on offense. They've gotten decent looks from mid-range, kind of the elbow area, free throw line. But Saints playing a little physical on D. They're being allowed to do so. And now Gallant floating to the hoop. He goes off back iron. That ball is poked out to Hansen. Hansen will take it, and he misses the layup. Jay-Sean Moore there with the offensive rebound. Now poked around, still being poked around, and ended up coming down with it was Zach Moore, and he is fouled by Jay-Sean Moore. That is apparently more on more crime there, right there. San Diego, California is where Zach Moore hails from. Jay-Sean Moore hails from Detroit. I have not done the genealogy on both of those guys. I assume no relation. Moore is quite a common last name. But I'm sure we'll see more of them battling down on the low block tonight. 12-0 Saints ahead. Western Oregon with the ball. Three-pointer on the way, way off. Rebound, Shaquem Alcindor, who's into the game for the first time. So is Tyke Thompson. Out to the corner, Miles Samuels, who's also in the game. So is Marcel Stevens. He tries a three. That one goes in and out. Rebound to Peter Casey Guanaji. Down low to Benzel, and the first bucket of the game for the Wolves is Cameron Benzel, who averages 14 points a game. Has played in all 12 contests for Western Oregon this year. Everybody but Skinny is a bench player right now for the Saints, but the Saints have a lot of bench points per game. They have one of the deepest rosters in all of Division II college basketball. Tyke Thompson coming off the bench, and in that three, it is 15-2. Saints ahead. Gallant with the ball bringing it up. Samuels on D. It's been a long time that he was guarding him there. You get 5 seconds close to guard it if you're not dribbling the ball, and you hold it for 5. Gallant tries a three, stop and pop and make it. It is 15-5. Lead back down to 10 for the Saints. I'll report when we got finals around the GNAC. Nothing final yet, but try and make a little bit more sense as Skinny goes to the hoop and makes it go down. Wow. Jaden Nielsen-Skinner has a penchant for scoring buckets that just seem impossible around the basket. And right there, it was a miraculous and one, and a foul called on Makayo Morphy. Free throw is good. Saints back up to 13 points in their lead. Saints in the NABC poll, which is widely regarded as one of the more respected polls. There's 3 different polls that are out there, but they are number 5 in that poll. Shaquem Alcindor gets that one. Thought about trying to bring it up the floor himself. Instead, gets it to Skinny, gets it to Tyke Thompson. Tyke Thompson downs the hatch, a long two-pointer. It is a two-pointer, 19-5, Saints, I believe, if I'm doing my math correctly. Right now the score is 20-5. Yes, the scoreboard got it right. Our PA announcer, Joe, didn't foul on the floor. We're under 12 minutes, so we're going to take another break on the Saints Digital Network. But right now the offense is clicking, the defense is stopping, and it's a 15-point lead for SMU.
And our Women of Color Legion striving to represent Black affirming Afro-African, and African American student body on campus. The Black Student Union aspires to unify the students of color in the community of St. Martin's University through the coordination of academic, cultural, and social activities that promote awareness for all. Focused on providing a safe, definitive space for women of color and their allies, the Women of Color Legion empowers women of color and offers support throughout the student experience. Let's thank them for being an important part of our St. Martin's Union community.
Jason Gallant's going to shoot his first free throw and make it. Gallant on the season, the third leading scorer on this Western Oregon squad. He is 82% from the charity stripe, the highest among players that play a good amount. I don't know what exactly the qualification is. The next, there is Zach Moore, who's 4 for 4, which I guess he plays a lot, but he doesn't shoot a lot of free throws. So I'll just say he's the highest of players that have shot over 10 free throws. Three-pointer on the way, missed. Ooh, Shaquem Alcindor almost got the rebound there. He would have had a chance for a nice old poster. Instead, it's Chris Cook the other way, and a missed shot, as that one I think was scuffed out of his grip. Skinny leads up the fast break out to Tyke Thompson, who has forever to hail that one home from deep. 23-7 Saints. Tried to get the pass there, but it was not able to be handled well. Once again, we'll look at the standings right now as they sit with one final score from today in the GNAC. As this one gets into Samuels, count it, and the bucket from Miles Samuels. Nice pass, nice finish, 25-7 as the Saints have built themselves a lofty edge. One shot coming from Miles Samuels from the line. Samuels on the season, 73% from the line. Montana State Billings ahead with a 6-0 record in the GNAC. This one will go home. 19-point lead for the Saints. Northwest Nazarene and St. Martin's each have one loss. Anchorage and Western Washington have 2. Central Washington, Seattle Pacific, Western Oregon, and Alaska all have 3 losses. And Simon Fraser, as I already mentioned, they have nary a win in GNAC play. Saints on their way trying to wend themselves to a 3rd straight regular season crown, but they will have to probably go through MSU Billings to do so. And that was Marcel Stevens to the bucket to score a very impressive 2 points for the Saints. They're up by 21 now. Benzel with it, out for 3. McIntyre off back iron. Oh, and a very nice roll for Mekhi McIntyre. Ooh, really, that's what feels like the first time the ball has gone the way of the Wolves today. Off front iron, missed. Rebound to McIntyre. A little back and forth with Benzel, then McIntyre will bring it up. Back to McIntyre. He pushed off. No, he traveled. Some subs coming in now. Saints starting off this game very impressive, building themselves a 28-10 lead with just under half of this first half done and over with. Marcel Stevens to Tyke Thompson. Play drawn up that would get it to Miles Samuels. Samuels will pull up from the free throw line. He misses it. Rebound McIntyre. St. Martin's women, they were an area win in the conference, but they got their first dub on the road at SPU. Zach Moore, misses a bunny there as Shaquem Alcindor was giving him a lot of room to shoot that one away. Marcel Stevens with it. Stevens out to the corner. Tyke Thompson, he's got 2 threes already, and make it another triple for Tyke Thompson. Thompson is at 11 points. He comes out on fire. 31-10, Saints up. They came out of the gates volatile this evening. Three-pointer the other way. That's the green-shoed Chris Cook to answer. And now the score for Western Oregon is the inverse of the Saints, as that should have been an offensive foul, and it will be, as the push-off is called on Miles Samuels. I had a great look at that one up from the press box here. Call it a press box. Most basketball arenas do not have a press box, but hey, penthouse suite at Marcus Pavilion, baby. We're rocking. 31-13, Saints ahead. Saints in the 2-3 zone with the elevated wings. Staple, as we're going to get a foul called under the hoop, maybe, on Nathaniel Stokes. He's battling a little too hard down low, I guess. Wolves ball under the basket. Only 8 total fouls called. 8 minutes to go in the first half. I love a low foul count. I love that we're not in bonuses right now. This one is out off of the Western Oregon Wolves. We are under 8 minutes, so it is time for immediate timeout here at Marcus Pavilion. It's a nice little 25 degrees outside, but the Saints, man, they are red hot on fire in the PAV. We'll be right back on the Saints Digital Network. Welcome back here. St. Martin's with a 31-13 lead right now. 18-point edge over GNAC tournament squad from a year ago. If you don't know how it works, the top 6 teams in the conference make the conference tournament. It was held in Bellingham, Washington, at the campus of Western Washington University last year, where St. Martin's fell in the championship to Northwest Nazarene. The Saints still earned an at-large bid to the NCAA 8-team regional. That one missed. Offensive rebound by Kyle Greeley. Turnaround, and that one is missed off front iron as he was smothered by Chris Cook. Out to the corner. Cook for three now. Whoa. That one came funky off the hand. And an air ball falls right into the paws of Kyle Greeley. Back to Miles Samuels now. Samuels to the bucket as it's knocked out to the corner. And an affected pass there is going to result in a turnover for Samuels. Looks like we're just about final from Fairbanks, Alaska, the northernmost school in the Great Northwest Athletic Conference. And Central Washington is going to survive, it seems. They're up by 4 on the Nanooks of Alaska Fairbanks. Cameron Benzel throws down a slam. Stokes thought about a three, but holds up, now gets it to Greeley. Greeley, the defending GNAC Player of the Week. That was his first Conference Player of the Week award. This is his 3rd season for the Saints. Kind of mind-blowing as Tyke Thompson will now kick it out. The Saints are being very unselfish. Get it out to Samuels, he misses, and there's Kyle Greeley once again, a scavenger under the hoop, getting an offensive rebound, takes it to the bucket, and gets fouled. Fouls on Benzel. Benzel is from Yoncalla, Oregon. A redshirt senior. One of the better players for this Western Oregon squad last year, but he played number 2 to the outstanding Cameron Cranston, who was a preseason player of the year last year. What they lost in Cameron Cranston was a guy who scored 17 points per game. He had 73 total rebounds on the year, was an 86% free throw shooter, and shot 38% from behind the line, 3-point line, that is. Clarify what line. 45% is what he shot from the field as a 17 points per game type guy. The heart behind this Wolves offense, Keont Myers took over that a little bit. But he has been out for a few games now, and so they're trying to find that identity on offense, and that's not going to do it as it goes over the hoop there, and the rebound it'll count as out of bounds. Western Oregon's going to try and see if some defense can lead to offense here, as that press will not work. Miles Samuels again playing with a possible offensive foul there, but it goes uncalled, and he goes to the hoop. He was steadfast in his attack of the hoop in that one. Western Oregon now coming the other way, poked out, and a foul will be called. They'll say that, I believe, the Saints' number 5, Kyle Greeley, infringed upon the space there of McIntyre, who was traveling down the baseline. 20-point lead for the Saints, 35-15. It's the ball under the hoop. It is poked around, now out to Cook. Cook gives it back to Benzel, who loses it out of bounds, and another turnover for Western Oregon. In will come Trey Wilmot, a transfer from JUCO Lassen College, which is in Northern California. McIntyre will step off the floor. I still don't have it final from Fairbanks, as Central up by 4 with 13 seconds to go right now. You know how the end of a close basketball game can take 45 minutes sometimes. That's what's happening up in the last frontier right now, as inside Kyle Greeley, like a video game, goes into his simulation and pops it down. 22-point lead for the Saints. Tyke Thompson takes it away to, oh my word! Oh my word! And a foul on the play. Caden Hansen to Tyke Thompson. And Marcus Pavilion just about exploded. the second Tyke Thompson got that ball, him and Caden Hansen, the redshirt freshman, were clearly on the same page. Hansen put that pass perfectly on him for him to throw down like he meant it. Took a foul as well, and he made the free throw. It is a 25-point edge for St. Martin's over Western Oregon University. It was just 2 years ago when Western Oregon came into this gym in the GNAC tournament and a heave at the buzzer upset the Saints. They are getting every ounce of payback here a few years later. Western Oregon has not defeated the Saints since that game. And West Pfeiffer's team continues to look out of sorts, but a nice hook shot by Zach Moore gets it to go. It is 40-17. 4 minutes to play here. Caden Hansen puts that one off of the Wolves. Out off of, I believe, Zach Moore under there. Miles Samuels will inbound under the bucket. Saints all-time are 9-16, at least dating back to 2008. Shaquem Alcindor plays bully ball under the basket. 42-17, not much you can do to stop that when he's sizzling. Kick ball there as Tyke Thompson got in the way. We'll take a quick break. I don't know if you could have drawn up a better start for the St. Martin Saints. They are cooking right now. It's 42-17, up 25, under 4 to go in the first half. Welcome back here. 3:45 to go. It is a 25-point lead for St. Martin's University. Very impressive start. I don't know what more you can say about what the Saints are doing right now. Even with a very nice start, they are on an 11-2 run. There's a missed shot. Rebound goes to Tyke Thompson. Number 5 team in the nation, St. Martin's University, looking like exactly that. Shaquem Alcindor gets it to Tyke Thompson. Step back three. No. Missed it. That was a heat check from Tyke Thompson, who pretty much everything he's touched has turned to gold today. Alley-oop attempted there, but it was not as good of a pass as Hansen had to Tyke Thompson on the other side. Cranston was trying to go up and maybe do something with it. Jay-Sean Moore made sure that Cranston could not do anything too fancy with it. A shot by Benzel there. 70% free throw shooter is the Umpqua Community College transfer. Makes the second. 42-18 the score right now. Full court press is on. It looks to me as if the Wolves go into full court press mode after made baskets. The reason we haven't seen it very much is there have not been a lot of made baskets for Western Oregon. Marcus Linker into the game here. First time we've gotten to see him today. Down to Ty Thompson, who's being guarded by Gallant. Double team should come. Doesn't. And the shot is missed. It'll be a jump ball as Shaquem Alcindor was fighting down under for that one. Stays with the Saints. Linker maybe had some space there, but the ball goes into Ty Thompson instead. Now to Hansen. Hansen, step back. Missed it. Foul will be called on Shaquem Alcindor down low. And Benzel will go to the line because they are in the bonus. 2:21 to go here in half number one. 24-point lead for the Saints. Ranked number 5 in the country in the NABC poll, number 5 in the College Basketball Nation poll. Excuse me, number. I'm starting to get jumbled now with all the polls that there are out there. First free throw is made. Let me just check the graphic that I made. College Basketball Nation, the Saints are number 3 in the country. In the D2 College Sports Communicators poll, the Saints are number 4, and in the NABC, the National Association of Basketball Coaches poll, the Saints are number 5. In the West Region poll, in all but 1 week, the Saints have been number 1 in the West. We'll stay with you here for this 30-second timeout. The Saints, I think they were in a use it or lose it situation, so they just wanted to draw something up for the final 2:21 here. Take a look at where the stats are right now. Out of all the players that have touched the floor for the Saints, only 2 haven't scored, Jayshawn Moore and Marcus Linker. And we mentioned Linker's only played 1 minute. Jayshawn Moore has had 2 rebounds that have contributed to the Saints' lofty lead right now. Leading in points right now for both sides is Ty Thompson. Kyle Greeley has 8. Ty Thompson up there with 14 on 3 3-pointers. Skinny with 6, Miles Samuels with 5, Stokes with 3, Hansen, Stevens, and Alcindor all have a bucket to their name. On the other side, it's Benzel. I mentioned he has to be the force behind the offense for the Wolves. As Hansen will bring it up and then get it down to Jayshawn Moore. Out to the corner, Linker, spot up 3. He puts it down the hatch, and I just said Linker hasn't scored, now he has. It is 45-20. Saints regain the 25-point edge. They're in the zone defense once again. Moore with it. Back to him. Now down under. Nice play drawn up, and the ball goes off of goes off of the Saints in the end as Linker was there to try and paw that one away. Skinny now comes in to relieve Shaquem as the Saints will go into a sort of small ball look with Ty Thompson being the big. Jayshawn Moore can be a big as well. Both of them are kind of flex wing forwards. This ball thrown up, comes down into the paws of Chris Cook. Chris Cook out to Gwinaji. Then Cook pulls up. That one nowhere near. Ball loose down under, and it stays once again with the Wolves of Western Oregon. That one looked like it was out on the Saints, out on the Wolves. It should be Saints ball. 1 on the shot clock right now. They got to get it up, and they had no idea. I think the coaching staff of Western Oregon was trying to be subtle about it. I believe that's assistant coach Brian Fisher who called out his offense's attention and just pointed up to signify, hey, we got 1 second on the shot clock. I don't think he made it obvious enough. Benzel clearly didn't have any sort of idea until it was too late. Hansen, pull up for 3. That would have been ridiculous. Jayshawn Moore, offensive rebound. He goes up, then loses it. It's on the floor, loose on the floor, and timeout called by St. Martin's as Caden Hansen with a scrappy A little play down there to grab that one. It's another timeout on the floor. I believe it's another 30-second timeout. So again, we'll stay with you. 1:09 to go. Look ahead to the upcoming games. I've already mentioned St. Martin's is slated for a matchup with the #1 team in the GNAC right now, standings-wise. Montana State Billings this Thursday for Pack the Pav. It is a red out, so make sure when you come, wear your red. And exciting news, we do have taco trucks, or a taco truck, and then two other trucks coming in, food trucks. And so you got to come out. There will be plenty of food options. We'll have a packed house, and it's a very high-stakes game as well. Hansen with it. Hansen attacks the bucket. He looked like he was grabbed, but Linker will end up firing for three. Off on the shot, and the rebound goes to Guanaji. Now Cook to the basket, but he stops. Scrambled in the corner, guarded by Linker. Saints in man-to-man defense right now. Benzel guarded by Jayshawn Moore. One dribble that Benzel takes and goes nowhere with and gets it out to Gallant. Offense continues to look out of sorts, but they're going to get a nice wide-open shot here. In the end, it worked out as Winaji got a chip-in from the right under the basket. Trying to take that one away was Guanaji. Now Linker being guarded by him, gets it to Jayshawn Moore. Moore almost traveled, gets it out to Tyke Thompson. Now Hansen with it. Hansen fires for three. That one goes in and out. Offensive rebound by Marcus Linker, and a foul is called on him for boxing out a Western Oregon player. That is a tough call to go against you. I wonder how often that gets called if it's not a 23-point contest. It is a big call because it results in 1-1 for Benzel. Linker will check out. Skinny on the floor and Greeley come in. Marcel Stevens is out there as well. 1-1, so the first shot is made by Benzel. Saints right now almost doubling up the effort from Western Oregon University. Western Oregon is 6 of 7 from the line after that one. That one's made as well. So it will be 45-24, 12 seconds left. Saints are going to have a chance for the last shot here. Tyke Thompson will get it. Guarded by Gallant, 4 on the clock. Skinny to the bucket, poked away, and with .2 on the clock, the Saints will have one last chance. Saints have really been begging for foul calls here down the past 5 minutes, and they really haven't gone either way that much. Tyke Thompson, fade away, no good. Don't think it would have counted anyway. Saints up by 21. An anticlimactic end to the first half, but it has been all SMU. 21-point edge. They are looking good as we head to half number 2. We'll step aside for a quick little 15-minute or so break. When we come back, we'll go over the stats from the first half and talk to you a little bit about what the teams need to do in the second half, which it's very different because the script of the first have been very different. We'll take a quick break for halftime. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Saints Digital Network. 45-24, Saints up by 21.
Black student union will compete against St. Martin's Regiment of Color Legion. So let's cheer them on. Ready, set, go! You got to move way up. Top half court. little extra time, so take advantage of getting that rhythm. Still get to keep the hot dogs that we're in. Nice. How many did we get, Taylor? 13. Next will be the St. Martin's Women of Color Allegiance. They too will have approximately 60 seconds on the clock. All right, looks like they're ready. Set, go! You can do it. It's all about rhythm and being one with the hot dog. 30 seconds. Put a little mustard on that. Great job, thanks for participating in Pint's Hot Dog Slingshot, presented by Pint's Doghouse. How many, Taylor? Not enough? All right. Well, congratulations to St. Martin's Black Student Union. They win this one tonight in a heated battle. Goes 7 for 22 in the first half, 32%, 3 for 8 on the 3-point arc. 38%, and their 7th rate from the free throw line, 88%. They had 14 rebounds led by the three-piece of Cameron Benzel and Jason Gallant. They had 6 personal fouls, 24 points, 7 assists led by the 2 of Cameron Benzel, 9 steals. Check that, 9 turnovers, 0 steals, 0 blocked shots. Scoring-wise, there's 3 for Makai McIntyre, 3 for Chris Cook, Jason Gallant, 5, 2 for Zach Moore,
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Scott Gladstone with you to bring you half number 2 between the St. Martin Saints and the Western Oregon Wolves. 45-24 is the score at halftime. Let's go over the statistics a little bit. And right now they are very lopsided in favor of the St. Martin Saints. The rebound numbers right now are 20-14. St. Martin's ahead. Assists are 12-7. In terms of points, St. Martin's is led by Ty Thompson off the bench with 14. Kyle Greeley has 8. And Miles Samuels with 5. We have 9 from Cameron Benzel as we are just underway here in half number 2. St. Martin's with a very good-looking first half as that shot was missed. Partial block there by Nate Stokes, I believe. And we are pleased to welcome in, fresh off the road, St. Martin's women's basketball player Lauren Morris. Lauren, welcome.
Hi.
Congrats on the win on the road as that ball just went off the top of the backboard and in. Wow. 47-24. St. Martin's women's getting the job done on the road. A 55-52 victory over Seattle Pacific. That was the first Seattle Pacific women's basketball home loss this year. Gritty performance by the gals just up the road. How is the weather outside, though? Cold?
It's freezing.
It's freezing.
Really cold.
It's cold.
Not good.
You guys have the nice winter jackets, but those are mainly for like the Alaska trip and the Billings trip, which I know you guys had nice warm weather on your Billings trip. Counted and the foul for Nate Stokes. Well, let me get you up to speed because you missed the first half. It's the Saints played very well in the first half. I don't know if you could tell that by the scoreboard. Tyke Thompson had 3 3-pointers. He had a very nice alley-oop from Caden Hansen. And defense, it was 10-0 early, and it's been a lot of Saints. So, unfortunately, I can't ask you your thoughts on the first half. I can only ask you your thoughts on the weather outside. But, we're surviving out here. It is much chillier in Billings right now, so at least you don't have to go back there. As that's a missed shot. 50-26 our scoreline, 18:47 to go. How this was a long break for me broadcasting for the Saints Digital Network as we got a free throw coming in. How was the holiday? How is it as a college basketball player now that you can look back on that holiday? Some fun, some bonding with teammates, but also it's got to be nice to kind of get back in the groove of things now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's always really fun just to spend time, with family. Even though it's kind of like a short break. But yeah, it was cool though. But it was nice to get back, get into things, and it was nice to play a game, or play 2 games.
St. Martin's here back at home. They finished out the pre-break schedule as Kyle Greeley fights for space and can't get it to go with 2 straight wins over Canadian foes. As that's a rejection, but a foul is going to be called as going to the ground is Makai McIntyre. Saints had some lopsided victories over Canadian schools, but it has been, in 2 days, it will have been a month since their last home game. So nearly a month off. Saints women get over a month off. From early December was their last home game. You guys will be playing back here for Pack the Pav on Thursday night. First free throw is in and out. In that first half, take a look at plus-minus wise. The leader in plus-minus for the Saints was Nathaniel Stokes at plus 19. Only 3 points on a three-pointer. As that's a missed shot. And the ball goes out, and it is said to have been last touched by Kyle Greeley, as Greeley held off from going for it. But apparently, whatever he saw was disagreed with by the man in stripes. As that ball is inbounded to McIntyre. McIntyre with it, guarded by Hansen. Fronting over on Benzel, and it works exactly how the Saints drew it up. Skinny ends up getting it. Skinny to the rack. then out to Kyle Greeley. Pump fake, then a shot, and it's missed. Rebound goes to Benzel. On the other side, take a look at plus minus for the Wolves. It was rough times when they were on the floor for both Morphy and for Benzel. Minus 20 when they were on the floor. Benzel did have 9 points, like I mentioned, and he drew 4 fouls. But the Saints, one of the best bench scoring teams in the country. Nobody really in foul trouble even to speak of. We do a final out of Fairbanks. Central Washington does go final 69-65 over the Nanooks. And Western Washington falls to Seattle Pacific 89-74. Under the basket, Kyle Greeley misses the first shot, puts the second one back. You know what blew my mind this week, Lauren, is Kyle Greeley got GNAC Player of the Week after a 31-point outing at Western Washington. That was his first career Player of the Week honor. It seems like every time he scores at least 15 a game, but it just seems so automatic how he does it, and it's just nonchalant, and he's just, oh, that was between the legs, and then kicked out to Stokes. Oh, and it's in and out. but it's just incredible, like how just routine Kyle Greeley scoring a lot of points is, and it kind of falls under the radar because he is always like, it always feels like he might just be like the third leading scorer in the conference per week. So he's just never had it, but he does his thing just every week. It's it's hard to deal with, especially when then you have Tyke Thompson and everybody else who can score on the St. Martin's men's squad. Down into Stokes. Stokes with a nice hook shot. Stokes is not a big scorer. He put up 13 on Saturday a week ago at Western Washington. Saints right now doubling up Western Oregon 54-27. Benzel with it. Now it's Gallant. Gallant's going to just take a deep three, and it's missed. Rebound by Jay Sean Moore. Gets it. An outlet to Skinny. Skinny from the free throw line. Got it to go. This is a good summary of the first half, Lauren, for you. This is kind of what it was. In terms of the steal numbers, I think a big number for the Saints, they have 2 turnovers. One of those was an offensive foul, as that one is a rattled home shot by Gallant. On the other side, 9 turnovers, including 9 turnovers for Western Oregon. There were 4 steals by the Saints. And the Saints won the rebound battle, as, of course, right when I say it, a turnover by the Saints and a steal, first steal of the game by Western Oregon. They took care of every possession compared to Western Oregon, who struggled to hold the ball against SMU. Down to Benzel, guarded by Stokes. Stokes will give him space to shoot that from the corner, from the short corner. Missed rebound. Goes to Hansen. Out to Greeley. Greeley takes it for 3. The roll doesn't go his way. Under 15 to go now, half number 2. Gallant trying to get this guy to cut. The Saints have just been clogging up passing lanes. Media timeout on the floor. Saints up by 27 as we take a quick break on the Saints Digital Network. Welcome back here, 56-29. Gallant with the two-pointer. Skinny on the floor with a new crew of bench players. A foul is going to be called there on Peter Casey Guadaggi. Just on the floor there, if you were wondering what was happening, it was representatives of the National Hellenic Council of Tacoma, made up of the Divine Nine, including a representative from the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, which Dr. Martin Luther King was a part of. We hope you enjoy Martin Luther King MLK Day festivities, whatever you may be doing on Monday. In that first half, we honored members of the Black Student Union here at St. Martin's, as well as the women of color on campus. 56-31 scoreline, 13:45 to go. Into Gallant, guarded by Skinny. Gallant trying to become a key scorer down the stretch here for the Western Oregon Wolves, and he comes up with another bucket there. Gallant right now is sitting on 13 points, leading scorer as, wow, under Gallant. Marcel Stevens got that ball away briefly. Kind of a dangerous play that had the coaching staff for Western Oregon up in arms trying to get a foul call. And to the bucket there was Mackay McIntyre. 21-point lead. Saints trying to just slow it up here. Sitting with a lofty advantage. Skinny guarded by McIntyre. Rotated around to Samuels, now down to Shaquem. He's going to drop step to the hoop and get a foul. He'll have two shots at the line. Third foul on Benzel. Right now, leading scorer in the game is Tyke Thompson with 14. Gallant right behind at 13. Kyle Greeley in double figures at 12. Greeley sniffing a double-double already at 12 points, 8 rebounds. First free throw is good from Shaquem Alcindor. Shaquem Alcindor is 64% from the line this year. Second free throw is good. Did you know that Shaquem Alcindor was the Tim Duncan Player of the Year in the Virgin Islands?
Really? That's not surprising.
Year.
That's not surprising
at all. It's awarded, I believe, to the best basketball player every year in the Virgin Islands. Shaquem Alcindor, who I wouldn't say he plays a lot like Tim Duncan, but he is a dominating post.
Yes.
So
yeah.
I can see the
resemblance.
The resemblance,
you know, a little
there.
bit, yeah.
As there's a missed shot, then the ball eventually will get down under, and Chris Cook will get it up. That's pretty much like every time I'm watching an away broadcast, they bring up the fact that Tim Duncan is from the Virgin Islands, and so is Shaquem Alcindor. And they're both posts.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Then that makes more sense.
Yes. Three-pointer on the way. I don't think I asked him, but I remember, I think it was somebody asked him, or maybe I heard the story of somebody else asking him, or maybe I was there. I don't remember. But somebody just asked him, how big is basketball in the Virgin Islands? And the way he classified it is that it's the biggest sport there. And I think it's a lot because of especially small kind of communities like that. You have one player like Tim Duncan, and it can kind of take over the thought process of what sport is the best to play, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Foul's going to be called there. 18-point lead right now for the Saints, 58-40. Western Oregon's come out this kind of second wave of the second half, and they looked pretty good. They've drawn it a little bit closer. Still 58-40. We will take a quick break on the Saints Digital Network.
You want hear some loudness. I hope we've got us a winner. Congratulations, and it's okay to share. Pirelli's Pizza, where good people make good pizza.
St. Martin's up by 18, now up by 16, as that was a nice bucket inside by Guanaji, originally from Sacramento, California. This Western Oregon squad, they currently have one player from Oregon, which is kind of weird because the state schools in the GNAC, usually you see a fair amount from the home state, as Tyke Thompson inside eventually gets fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot two. Just Cameron Benzel, that's the only Oregon native on this squad. A lot of California.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
you're a California kid that looked Northwest, right?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, Oregon it's a little similar to California. It kind of gives off like a similar vibe. Yep. So, I mean, weather definitely isn't the same, but kind of gives off a similar vibe. So I could see why a lot of Californians would want to go there, for sure.
Tyke Thompson misses the first free throw on the season. Tyke Thompson is 74%. I got to think there's something. I mean, when you were kind of on your college, recruiting journey, maybe looking to stay in the same time zone like that. Is that any sort of factor, or at least like staying in the same region? I know that for sure is a factor with different people, but it can be hard, especially if you're a California kid trying to go to the East Coast and trying to get on the same schedule to call your parents and call your friends. Probably not just time zone, but kind of that regionality and fair location so your parents could visit maybe once or twice a year or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gallant inside. They're going to call a foul there on Nate Stokes. That is, I'd classify that in kind of a bailout foul category because it seemed like they had Gallant pinned.
Mm-hmm. Definitely was, I mean, I think it was going to be a turnover. But
yeah, it was ticking down as this ball is going to go all the way to the backcourt, and it's grabbed by Trey Wilmot. Wilmot, not a California kid, not an Oregon kid. He's from Reno, Nevada. Gallant
this team
pulls
has
up.
them from everywhere.
Ball's out.
Sure.
I think it's always kind of fun because like Western Washington, their men's team, I know for sure, they have almost an all-Washington roster.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting to see the dynamics where, like, Saints are pretty diverse. Of course, it's a private school. Mm-hmm. It's a lot different. Seattle Pacific, private school as well. GNAC's a fun conference like that with a mix of private and public colleges in the conference. 58-42, a foul again called on the Saints. We're seeing, listen, you know me and my fouls. How I can talk about them a lot sometimes. The first half, I loved how it was called. Perfect. Teams got to the bonus with like 5 minutes to go in the half. It was lovely. Second half, we're seeing a little bit more ticky-tacky fouls called. This one under the basket to Guanaji, then kicked out for three off the side of the backboard. Rebound, Stokes.
I think that might have something to do with Western Oregon's run here happening.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we talked about it in the NNU game. The Saints really struggled because they're a team that just likes to get into that flow.
Yeah.
And just the way they run the floor, the way they run, as we get a wide open three by Samuels. I don't know what was happening, but the Saints drew up that play perfectly to get him a wide open look. 10 minutes to go now. So in that Northwest Nazarene game, the Saints were slowed down a lot by the foul calls, and you could see it hurt them. And you're kind of seeing the same thing where fouls are getting called ticky-tack both ways and slowing up the Saints, and they're allowing more buckets. Benzel with it. Now driving the hoop. Good strong drive by number 12, Morphy there. And he ends up getting it right before the expiration of the shot clock. Skinny now bring it up. Almost poked away. Then under the basket, he is fouled. Also, in that first half, I mentioned the alley-oop by Tyke Thompson that he threw down. There was an incredible and one by Skinny. He, sometimes under the hoop, the way he plays, he's a lot shorter than a lot of the guys he's playing against, but he can put up some really good shots. And it was a classic Skinny, like, took a foul, looped the ball up there, it went high off the backboard, and somehow went home. That's the best I can describe it to you. I'm sorry I don't have a monitor to pull up the replay right here. Oh.
I mean, I
think you
might be able to demonstrate it right here.
Yeah.
I know everybody, on this live stream, I know you guys won't be able to see, but I'll be able to see.
I was trying to paint the picture with my words there. And I cannot get close to impersonate any of the Saints players. So maybe I can. The only thing I could demonstrate really well would be charging somebody, like committing a charge. That's what I'm good at. Just putting a head down, and anytime somebody put a shoulder down or something like that. But you won't see me doing a Skinny circus shot, and you will not see me doing a Tyke Thompson alley-oop anytime soon. Three-pointer on the way. Back iron. Offensive board from Trey Wilmot. Poked away, however. Samuels with it. Poked away from him. Foul called on Trey Wilmot on the poke. Illegal poking. That's the official call from the referee. And, oh, look at that. We're in the bonus with 9 minutes to go. So cancel your post-game dinner plans. It might get clunky down the stretch. Samuels, first half of a 1-1, makes it. Samuels, we talked about the geographic diversity. He is one of those guys that has to consider time zones a lot when trying to talk back home to his family. They're from West Palm Beach, Florida. And, listen, East Coast is fine, but the ultimate sports time zone, in my opinion, is either mountain or Pacific. I'm not a late night watcher, and I know that right now it's fine, but when it's the second half of a doubleheader, I think we've talked about this before. It's like, the Samuels family is out there in Florida, staying up till midnight Eastern time to watch a game, and it can get pretty brutal. Greeley to the bucket, takes some contact. Now a rebound by Samuels, and he throws an interception stolen by Chris Cook. Chris Cook to the bucket, and a foul. Benzel tried to put back Slamma. Didn't get it to go. It would not have counted. Anyway, Chris Cook will go to the line. He's 80% free throw shooter. I've already mentioned this before, but on Thursday it is packed the pavilion. It starts off with the St. Martin's women's squad taking on Western Washington University, defending GNAC champion Vikings coming in here. Should be a great contest with Lauren and the women's team taking on Western Washington. That's followed by a battle of the top two teams in the GNAC in terms of as far as the standings go right now. The undefeated MSU Billings Yellow Jacket men taking on St. Martin's University. And that will be, I don't know what happened there, as there was a hesitation by Stokes, who was going to throw it back to Tyke Thompson, and then Tyke Thompson miscommunicated with him and stepped forward, and that means nobody went out of bounds to throw it in. Turnover by the Saints. Like I was saying, if the Saints hold on tonight, there'll be one loss versus an undefeated Montana State Billings squad. Missed shot, rebound. Stokes gets it to Skinny to slow it up, bringing it down. 20-point lead for the Saints. Not only will it be two really good games, but it also is the Pack the Pavilion annual event here at St. Martin's. So make sure to come out where you're red as Samuels goes for 3, misses it. Rebound Skinny, offensive board. Now out to Greeley. He'll fire from 3. He misses. And a foul on the box out of Samuels. I believe they're going to call a hip check. So he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Not only do we have good games, it's Pack the Pav, wear your red, but we have food trucks right outside, 3 different food trucks. So come out and work your olfactory senses for some food truck food at Marcus Pavilion.
Yes. Yes.
We'll be here for it. We'll take a quick break on the Saints Digital Network. Welcome back here. 7:43 to go. A 20-point lead for the Saints. Free throw coming up for Miles Samuels. It's in and out. Rebound goes to Chris Cook. St. Martin's and Western Oregon have struggled as that was a pass, I believe, to Benzel that almost went in. Back to Greeley now. Greeley attacks the hoop. Greeley flips it up, gets it out to Skinny eventually. Skinny for 3, missed it. Rebound, Benzel. Benzel looks up to McIntyre. Now Gallant to the bucket, and Gallant sent back. Looking forward to Samuels. Samuels, a perfect pass on the money. The NFL playoffs are happening, but that, I think, might be the best pass anywhere in the country. Patrick Mahomes over in freezing cold Kansas City couldn't drop a dime like that one. McIntyre now with it into the motion offense. Benzel with it. St. Martin's right now looking to go to 14-1 and 4-1 in the conference. Foul will be called. It's still very much up in the air. Anything can happen in this contest. Saints up by 22, however, right now. So as we look ahead to that matchup with Montana State Billings on Thursday, fans have to be agog with the game that we're going to get between those two. The Yellow Jackets, I mean, both their men's and their women's team have been really good this year.
Yeah. We got, they played, when we were in Montana, they played before us.
Yep.
So, we kind of got a chance to watch them. And, they kind of have, I would say they're almost kind of like similar teams.
Yeah.
Like with the Saints, they have size, size and strength and their speed. But so does Montana. Montana has a lot of size, and they're big dudes. They can move.
Yep.
So I think that will be just a really good showdown, because you have Tyke Thompson here, you have Kyle Greenlee, Nathaniel Stokes, so, those are all pretty big dudes.
Yep.
But they play more of kind of like a guard, forward / position.
Yep.
So I think that'll be really good, to see what happens this coming Thursday.
Yeah, they lost the GNAC Player of the Year in Carrington Wiggins, and a lot of people, I think, were kind of speculating how good that men's team would be. As Greeley kicks it out to Skinny. Skinny for 3 at the buzzer, makes it go 70-47. Saints ahead. But they lose their top scorer, reigning GNAC Player of the Year, and they start conference play undefeated. Missed shot there. Rebound, Greeley. Is he at a double-double? He is. 12 points and 10 boards now for KG. Now back to KG to Samuels. Samuels, a little fadeaway, off front iron. Rebound, Stokes. Gets it out to Samuels. He'll try again, this time for three. That one missed. Greeley, another rebound for him. He'll try inside, maybe with some contact. Missed the shot, get the rebound. And the Saints have about 5 different rebounds that possession and eventually get 2 points off of a Kyle Greeley bucket. I think that's the big thing. You talk about Billings, and it's what we see from the Saints is they have a versatile player like Kyle Greeley, top scorer on the team, gets a lot of buckets, can shoot, can score mid-range, can score down low, but also they attack the glass. Tyke Thompson the same way, gets a lot of rebounds. It's having guys that can play every position 1 through 4 practically, but each sides do have really good ball handlers as well, as Miles Samuels takes it away to the hoop and scores and makes it look easy. And I think we're going to get a technical foul or a delay of game called here. Tech called. And
I don't know about that.
I didn't see exactly what happened. They're going to call it on Miles Samuels.
I think it might have been just like after when he finished his play, I think he might have maybe made a face at whoever, but
well, it looked to me like when he was going up for it, he kind of had some hands like on his midsection technically too, so maybe in a different score line. If it's not so lopsided, maybe we see a little bit more of a chance for a foul to get called there. And so either making some sort of gesture for scoring the bucket or some sort of gesture at the ref for not getting an and one there. Whatever it is, it is a different feeling of a call where you are a little annoyed by it, but you accept it when you're up by 25 compared to how game-changing that would be if that were a bucket to tie the game or something like that. And I hope the ref wouldn't make that in a call that we don't see, as Benzel hits the deck and Jayshawn Moore is an easy interception. Samuels out to Skinny. Saints right now more than happy to score some more, as Jayshawn Moore will just not get that one to fall. That's a tech like that too, when the Saints are kind of going into cruise control, can almost spark them a little bit, but on the other side, maybe it'll spark the Wolves as Jason Gallant scores. Once you get up 20 and there's 5 minutes to go, you kind of just make sure you don't blow it.
yeah.
Sometimes. But the Saints still have starters out there, key players, and they're still scoring as Kyle Greeley's up to 16 now. Cross-court pass, now bounced around. Long two taken. Samuels will get the rebound. Zach Moore tried to pick his pocket, but unable to do so. Tyke Thompson for three. He'll miss. Rebound, Jayshawn Moore. Made it look easy, and he goes around Zach Moore and lays it up. Jayshawn Moore versus Zach Moore, and Jayshawn takes that battle. Battle of the Moors. I had a really bad pun in the first half when Zach Moore fouls Jayshawn Moore. I won't make people relive that one, because sure, the ears were bleeding enough. 78-51, 3:17 to go. Final media timeout on the floor. We'll take a quick break on the Saints Digital Network. Saints up by 27, rolling to a 4-1 start to conference play. 3:17 to go here, 78-51. Saints number 5 team in the country on the NABC poll, and I just gleaned what other teams are ahead of them, and currently MSU Moorhead is atop the charts. That was a nice putback by Guanaji. MSU Moorhead atop the charts. Minnesota State Mankato second. Nova Southeastern, the defending champs, third. West Texas A&M fourth. St. Martin's, like I just said, is fifth. That's off back iron. Tyke Thompson will try and help swat it out, but it goes off. It does go off of Guanaji, so it's Saints ball. Tyke Thompson, back to Samuels. He'll attack, try and loop it around. It ends up bouncing off a knee, I think, and then getting to Jayshon Moore, who almost travels, then throws it out, deflected to Skinny. Skinny with 4 on the clock. Now Samuels with 2, pull up from the elbow. Got it as the shot clock expires. And that is the best summary we could write of the night. A lot of things going right, and even when they didn't, St. Martin's, a dominating victory. I brought up in the first half the heartbreaking loss the Saints had in the GNAC tournament a few years ago to Western Oregon on this floor. They were 2-0 last year versus Western Oregon. They have a dominating victory tonight, especially with 3 guys that are from right in the shadow of Monmouth. They clearly have not taken any pity on the Western Oregon Wolves since that upset, for sure. When the Salem Trio has been around in general, that was the only loss they had to Western Oregon. As we call a foul down under. Cameron Benzel has a nice little dunk there that won't count. And even if it did, it would have brought the score from down 27 to down 25. But style points.
For sure.
Keon Myers, the leading scorer. I've mentioned this a couple times. He is out the contest. So we get a 1-on-1 free throw made by Benzel. Keon Myers is out due to injury, I believe. He is a scorer of 16 points per game. He had a triple-double earlier this year, won Player of the Week in the GNAC because of it. One goes in and out, and then it's out in the end off of Guanaji. Looks like both sides are kind of exercising the bench now with 1:59 to go. Josh Camper sees the floor for the first time, as does Corey Schramm. Jason Gallant's going to come off. Down the stretch here for this Western Oregon Wolves squad that is off to a 1-4 start in the conference. They lost a great player in Cameron Cranston last year, coming into this year, as this one's taken away by Guanaji, and a dunk by Guanaji. But with their leading point scorer out, this is the Western Oregon squad that looking to find some offense, looking to find who that dude's going to be, especially on a night like tonight when, you know, Benzel scored a fair amount. He had 10, Gallant had 19, but the scoreline not even close. So figuring out who else can be an option, as that is going to be a foul. I believe it's going to be a block, as Tyler Ricketts tried maybe a little bit too hard to get that one. Well, they said they're actually going to call on Trey Wilmot. They say he reached just before that. Samuels back to the line. Rattles home the first shot. I'm excited. You got to see that MSU Billings men's team play on Thursday. I've seen glimpses of them as Samuels misses a rebound, misses a shot, gets his own rebound. But it is, just on paper, it's already exciting enough of a matchup with all the stakes that we have, as Guanaji's going to get another steal. And that one is 0 points on the dunk attempt. Then coming the other way, and, well, hey, Mikhail Morphy, he gets himself a dunk, and if it were the NBA slam dunk competition or college slam dunk competition, maybe Western Oregon would be winning. Instead, they are losing by 23. Coming the other way. Do we get another dunk? We get a swat. Ball on the floor. Camper gets to it. 32 seconds to go. Come on, let's get another dunk here. What are we doing, guys? Let's treat this like it's the NBA All-Star game down the stretch, which, I'm sure those dunks might appear on the highlight reels of these guys, but if I were them, when I'm making the highlight reel, I would block out the scoreboard and the time left. Probably the best idea there. We are ticking down the time here, under 10 seconds to go. And see if you can make the score a little more aesthetically pleasing. It will not. And in convincing fashion, the St. Martin Saints take a 23-point victory over the Western Oregon Wolves. The sky feels very cerulean for the St. Martin Saints as it was cold outside, but the sun was shining and the Saints were red hot inside. Lauren.
No, for sure. For sure. Hoping they can, keep this sunshiny, what is the word I'm trying to say? I'm trying to do wordplay like you.
Yeah.
But just hoping, they can continue this into Thursday for sure,
Yeah, it's how in two teams that are so similar, like MSU Billings and St. Martin's. By the way, we got a post-game show coming up. Aaron Landon and a player will talk with us. What makes the difference in close games? Like, what do you look for? Obviously, Kyle Greeley's going to score points. We know that. Tyke Thompson's going to score points. Famous left hand is going to score points. Emmanuel Johnaku's going to get rebounds and score points.
Yeah.
We know what makes the X factor, though? What do you look for? How do you get your team ready if you're Aaron Landon for a big game, top of the conference class?
Yeah. I think just how similar they are. I think it really when it comes down to is it comes down off of those O boards and
Yep.
You know what I mean? So just the rebounding battle I think is going to be hard. But if the Saints, if they can continue to get these extra 2 or 3 possessions, then down the stretch, in the second half, 5 minutes left, that really could help them pull away. So if they don't win the rebounding battle and it's kind of neck and neck, I could see this game on Thursday coming down to the last minute. So that's what I would, if I was Coach Aaron Landon, that's for sure what I would do.
It is going to be a great contest on Thursday night. The St. Martin's women's team will take on Western Washington. You can join us on the broadcast or in person to see Lauren Morris as well as the rest of the Saints take on the Vikings in that contest, and that will be followed by the St. Martin's men's team taking on who are they taking on? The Yellow Jackets. That's their mascot. The Yellow Jackets of Montana State Billings.
Stingers.
The Stingers. I'll call them that a time or two on Thursday night, especially if they're making some buckets. 81-58. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with head coach Aaron Landon and Miles Samuels on the Saints postgame report presented by O'Blarney's. We'll be right back. Scott Gladstone here with head coach Aaron Landon as well as Miles Samuels on the Saints postgame report presented by O'Blarney's. Coach, we'll start it off. This is your first game back at home after the long break, nearly a month off from playing here at Marcus Pavilion. In terms of just kind of getting back into things last week and then coming out tonight and really being on fire the way that you know that this offense can click, the defense can click. What did you like about what you saw from the Saints tonight?
I'm like were we on fire?
Yeah, I mean,
no.
It was 10-0 in the blink of an eye. I mean, it was.
Yeah, no, we had good energy to start. Usually that's like on fire for this team. Usually includes the 3-point line. I honestly thought the first 5-6 minutes were just those guys stringing stops. It just does so much for your offense when you're playing off misses. It's no secret we like to play fast. It's just so hard. Even if you get out and you have great inbound speed, you have to have special inbounding speed to play fast off of makes. Plus, I think it just hurts your confidence. When you're going off of a possession when you've just gotten scored on, it's tough to get down and get to it on the other end. So getting stops and just being able to go, that helps any team's offense. And yeah, just credit that starting group. I thought they really set the tone tonight and gave us a really, really good first punch, like we've talked about before.
When you think about just trying to match up with teams and what they're going to bring, obviously the games last week were very different in terms of kind of an offensive battle, a defensive battle first, trying to survive different contests, and then just being able to come out here and blow away the competition. What are you learning about this team as they continue to feel out the GNAC foes that they have and work their way thicker into conference play?
You're so kind. You just referenced that game on Thursday night across the border as a defensive battle.
Compared to Saturday, it definitely was.
Yeah. I mean, all teams, if you're going to have success, you got to learn how to win games different ways. So that's the trait of a good team, knowing how to win games different ways. That being said, you have to have an identity as a team. So a weekend like last, it's unnerving. You just want to have a sense of who you are, and it's awesome to be able to close any game on the road like we did on Thursday night. And Saturday night we were great offensively. But, you want to have an identity. You want to have a calling card. Everybody watching, they'd say, well, I'd rather watch that game at Western again, more points. Finding separation in the first half and then just being able to build through stops. That's where you sort of find consistency, and that's really where you want to go with the identity is no matter what you're doing, you just want to find consistency. So that's what we're working on every single day. All these games are different. Some of that I don't want to bail us out, for the stuff we haven't done a good job with coaching or bail out players, but it's hard to have the break. It's just it's so much time, and really, no disrespect to those Canadian teams we played before the winter break. It's just hard to have such a long layoff between Division II games. So we're basically talking about a month. And that's just a tough thing to deal with. So it was a great break. You and me got to do our segment on what we caught up with from an entertainment standpoint. True Detectives starts tomorrow night, by the way. That's how we're going to rev up for that Alaska trip in a couple weeks. We'll let 2 episodes stack and then watch them both before we leave to Alaska. No, it was a great break. It's just tough to come back from that.
Well, and we talk about the long break and kind of the importance of it, especially for guys like the guy to your left here, Miles Samuels. Talk about there's been a couple guys that – do you know what a Bill Dungsroman is?
Absolutely not.
It refers to a book.
I didn't go to a good school like St. Martin's.
It refers to a book of basically a coming-of-age novel, right?
Okay.
And a one where, somebody learns a lot. And I feel like there are multiple guys on this team, guys like Miles, guys like Shaquem that have made multiple stops in their college journeys. They're coming across the country to play different places. I feel like almost everybody on this team could have a Bill Dungsroman written about them. What can you say about the guys like this that bring a veteran leadership to the team, not only because they are a little older, they've played college ball before, but at the same time they bring a new look into the team, and other guys in the GNAC aren't ready for a guy like Miles Samuels.
Yeah, I mean, they're older, which is just a good thing. Before you even get to basketball, this is going to sound silly, but it's we don't take it for granted. Like before you even get to school, guys have to do so much stuff. There's so many boxes they have to check, and they got to do a ton of stuff. Like from a medical standpoint, just as an example, they got to do a bunch of stuff to get cleared with our trainers, get their physical, get a bunch of paperwork in, insurance, so on and so forth. You tell them what he needs to do, and then they just go and do it. And often, nothing against freshmen, but it just is you're their parent until you're not. So, as far as, them coming in, sort of reference, you familiar with the book Siddhartha, Personal Journeys? You sure you read it? I'm just kidding. You got too academic on me, so no.
It was just vocab.
It's like
vocab test on a Saturday.
It was like the Goodwill Hunting scene, right? Where we're going, no. Just challenging each other.
Yeah.
These guys, they come in, and the only thing I worry about with a guy like Miles or, any impact transfer is that they want to fit in too much. And so we talked this week about, what's going to happen next year when those guys are gone. Who's sort of the alpha leading the group, because we'll have more transfers next year. And I think our success and what guys have done has attracted high-quality transfers. And that's what these guys are. So when they come in, you want them you want them to fit in, but you don't want them to fall in line to the point where everything is just about these other guys, because the shoes that he has to fill, to me, he's sort of stepping into that Hunter Sipe role. I mean, that's one of the things that we lost. Now they're different players. Hunter a little bit more of a specialist as a shooter. He really would play the 4 for us. He's just so tough. Miles can, probably handle it and create a little bit better. So like a different player profile, but the same thing. You just need a positionless guy that can do a bunch of different stuff and makes winning plays. And, you don't want guys to, if you're going to have a transfer come in, you talk about, what are your translatable skills? We'll kind of develop the stuff that is unique to us that we really want to see out of you, but what can you offer us today? That's sort of the nature of recruiting now. It's terrible to say, but it is less about development. He'll develop in our system, but we got a really good basketball player. That's just is what it is. We still love to teach. We still love to work out. He comes in every single morning, and, we do a lot of fundamental stuff, but it's not like we're teaching him how to play. We got a really, really good basketball player that's already played Division II. Was a winner, winning 22 games or something at one of the best junior colleges in the country. And he comes in here, and, you're just getting a really good basketball player, a mature student, mature person. He's a really good student, so you don't have to worry about his school. You don't have to worry about him off the court. You got a really good player. If I explain too much, they're going to say, well, then what do you do? Why should we be paying you?
Well, part of what they're paying you for is to prepare and kind of come up with a blueprint for Thursday. So let's kind of leave with that. It's a big matchup. It feels like every time I've been here when you guys match up with Billings. Last year, I think it was one of those moments when it was a different point in the season, later in the season. Yeah,
February.
Where you kind of got one hand on the trophy when you blew them out here at home. Now they're undefeated. They're coming in, match up with you guys. What do you look for? What do you want to get out of the guys in that matchup with MSUB?
That's a year ago when we had that game here. There was one thing that we got real lucky with in terms of how they were going to cover us in the post defensively, and that led to a really simple offensive game plan. We're not smart. We got really fortunate, and that allowed us, I'm sure you remember, just a ton of reversals, finding open threes, because they were doubling an area that it made things we got real opportunistic that night. And out in Billings, that was more that's more sort of the game I expect here. They are so good. They're really similar to Northwest Nazarene. They're not going to let you walk. They're not going to let Skinny bring it down into a ball screen and operate. They're going to put their hands on you. They know how to get to the maximum level of physicality without fouling. And I'm sure we'll have officials here that are, veterans that will let the guys play. The closer we get to February, the less they worry about calling hand check fouls. And I just think that's going to be a test of how tough we are. We're playing at home. We should have a great crowd and all that. Shots will go in, shots will miss. That game will come, it sounds cliche, that game will come down to just physicality and toughness. And And as I look at our league, I see them and NNU have – it goes back to having an identity. They've really created an identity around their toughness and physicality, and they've just gotten better and better and better. And that's what we've talked about is, you know, we've played, 15 games now? So it's like we're only halfway through the season. We got to get better. All the important stuff that is attached to our goals, that's all stuff in March. We played with Billings in the Conference Challenge down in Santa Barbara. They've gotten so much better since then. So we got, 4 days really to try to get prepared, but also to just continue to get better. And that's going to be, epic showdown. Trying to give them their first loss, assuming that they won.
They did.
Respectfully to Simon Frazier.
Thank you very much, Coach. We'll see you on Thursday.
Brought him up, by the way. 17 points is cool, mainly to hopefully his parents are watching and he can explain the technical foul.
Miles, first of all, congrats on 17 points, leading the charge for the Saints tonight. This team, I feel like every night there's a new top scorer, and it's 1 through 10, all putting up big numbers. What is it about this team that really any starter, any guy coming off the bench can light up the scoreboard?
I think it's just the understanding of what you said. Everybody knows that anybody can get off any night. So everybody's unselfish, and we like to spread the wealth, and we're okay with anyone scoring. We like to see everyone succeed. So tonight was just my night, but, it's been plenty of other guys and other nights. So it just is what it is and how it happened.
And your coach talked a lot about kind of the leadership that you bring in, even though you're a new guy. When you think about what you wanted to bring when you came to this team, when you transferred in, what were some of the things that you knew, at least I can start from here and continue to grow my role? But what did you want the first thing that you brought to this team to be?
Just my style of play, kind of unselfishness. I had to kind of adapt to a new role here, but I wanted to do whatever we needed to win. So I kind of figured it out within the first few weeks of what it was going to be and with the group and stuff. So I just wanted to bring winning habits, really. I know it was a winning program coming in, so I just wanted to continue that.
And you talk about that, being a part of a winning program before JUCO, being a part of a winning program here. Obviously, you're going to always coming in with a target on your back. Everybody wants to knock you guys down. What's your mentality when you go into nearly every game knowing that you're going to have to fight off a team's best shot?
Yeah, we just can't let up. We just got to come with the same energy for the big games, for whatever type of game it is. We have to continue to play hard and, no let-ups. He emphasizes that at halftime, no letdowns or anything, high energy all through. So that's what we try to do.
And your coach mentioned, and it's something that every once in a while I start talking about on the broadcast. You're from Florida. Yeah. You've come all the way across the country to play. You got family that are staying up tonight. It's only like 10
it's not
there,
too bad tonight. Yeah.
But the 7:30 games,
yeah,
I'm
10:30
sure
for them. Yeah. It's tough.
It's late. It's late.
For
sure. What do you want to say to your family, friends, people back home who might be watching, but just people that have supported you to get to this point in your basketball journey?
Thank you guys staying up and watching. I know it gets late. My dad be tired. He tells me all the time. But just thank you for the support. I know I'm far. I miss you guys, but just trying to win a national championship, man. That's all I can say.
Awesome. Well, congrats on the big win tonight. Thanks, Miles.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Final score of today's contest, 81-58. The St. Martin Saints get the big victory over Western Oregon University. They moved to 4-1 in conference play, the number 5 team in the nation. I don't think they'll be moving down in the polls. We'll see if they move up. Keep an eye on the St. Martin social media on Tuesday to see how the pollsters vote on the St. Martin Saints coming up. But before we let you go, we got to give you one more reminder. It's next Thursday night. It is a big title fight. Could have huge implications on if the Saints are going to three-peat as GNAC champions. It's on Thursday night, Montana State Billings versus St. Martin's University right here on the Saints Digital Network. Undefeated are the Yellow Jackets in conference play. The Saints have just one loss. It was an overtime loss here at home. It's going to be a good one. We hope you join us on the broadcast or in person. It's Pack the Pad for that one. Once again, the final score of this contest, 81-58. St. Martin's gets the win. We'll see you on Thursday night. Please have a great rest of your evening. Stay warm out there and stay safe out there.